Hello YouTube, welcome to video 4 of me replacing the motor on my 2014 Ram 3500 with the 6.7 Cummins. Very excited. Today's a super exciting day because my motor has finally came in, so I'm gonna go and grab that right away and just get to work swapping things over from motor to motor and then getting it off the trailer and hopefully start lining it up right away. But yeah, I'm not gonna rush myself too soon. I've just kind of been taking my time with this project because I just don't want to overwhelm myself more than I already am doing this whole thing by myself. So yeah, anyways guys, let's go get this motor. It's about an hour away in the nearest city, so I gotta go pick that up I'm gonna use my girlfriend's truck and my trailer, go grab that. We're gonna bring it here back home, and then we'll start getting it unloaded and put it beside the other motor and just start tearing things apart and comparing the two and kind of just switching parts over. So yeah, anyways guys, well, we are on the way to go get the motor. We got my trailer hooked up to a girlfriend's truck, and yeah, going to get the motor from Kelowna. I'm so excited. All right guys, we got the motor on the trailer and we are going to start to head home, and I'll show you guys exactly why this motor was only $4 grand. All right guys, we are back home and we have the motor sitting here. So I'm gonna give you a quick run through with this motor. I have paid $4,200 for this from a 2015, I believe. It's a 6.7. It's never been deleted. It still has all the emission stuff on it. Has 320,000 K, and it's $4,200. That includes $600 for me keeping my core and $600 for shipping it here from Saskatchewan to BC. So the motor was actually $3 grand, and then all the extras made it that much. So I'll tell you why this motor was so cheap, because these motors are not cheap. I looked around for a good one. You're looking at 6, 7, 8 grand at least from a scrapyard with over 250,000 K. So the reason this motor is so cheap is because it was from a wrecked truck that had front damage, and it damaged the harmonic balancer and some of the front pulleys, the timing cover. So I was okay with that because I told them I wanted to keep my core and I can take the parts off my core. But there is also a couple other things wrong with this motor that I've seen already. It's just through the plastic. I'm not complaining at all, but this motor mount seems a little bent or something is up with it, and then the one on the other side is actually missing, which is kind of lame, but that's exactly why I wanted to keep my core and why it was worth paying the $600 to keep my core, because just the parts that are missing would have cost me more to buy than to just take off my core. Like the whole fan clutch assembly, the whole, like everything, all of that stuff. Well, actually, I guess I probably could have taken that off my motor before sending it back, but anyways, that's besides the point, guys. Another thing that I've noticed wrong is this motor, this turbo seems very crusty, and I know looks don't really matter. It could have a rebuilt inside or something, but I'm just saying that I'm not a huge fan of how crusty that turbo looks, because my turbo is no good. So I'm really hoping I don't have to go splurge and buy a turbo, because I really couldn't afford that. So yeah, that's where we're looking at right here, guys. So anyways, this is the setup here that I'm going to use to get this thing unloaded. I'm just going to back the van truck up a little bit more, lift the motor, and drive the trailer out. But before I do that, I'm going to unwrap this thing. All right guys, the motor is unwrapped, and let's go over it, and I'll explain to you why I got this motor for the price that I did, which was again $3 grand plus $600 for shipping and $600 for keeping my core. So this motor was a front impact and collision, and it needs the harmonic balancer, which goes there. The timing cover is cracked, and it's missing the brackets for the pulleys and a couple other things. And then the engine mounts also look bent, and this one is missing, and the turbo doesn't look very great, which I'm not super happy about, but I'm just happy to have a motor again. So anyways guys, this is the motor. It's never been deleted, which I'm kind of happy about, but it also does come with its downsides. Undeleted trucks get a lot of carbon in the intake, so I'm hoping that's not been the case with this one. It also seems like it's been so my idea is an undeleted truck was either a fleet truck or an older man didn't want to delete it because he wanted to take good care of it, and this filter kind of stands behind it. You would get Wix filters, so he wasn't cheaping out on his oil changes or oil filters. So yeah, kind of gives me a promising hope that this motor will be half decent. Still got to go over it a little bit. I'm going to take the intake off, make sure it's not super carboned up, and I'll probably get a Banks Monster Ram intake. I got to do a bunch of things to this motor before it gets put in, but the main thing right now is getting it off this trailer and getting it put beside this motor so I can start swapping parts over. So what I'm going to do now is back the truck up a little bit, get this thing hooked up, and what I'll do is just lift up the motor a bit and drive the truck out. All right guys, well let's see how this goes. I'm just gonna lift her up, and I'll have to pull the van forward a little bit. I might just pull the van forward, honestly. We'll see, because the van, you'll see, look, I'm butted right up against, so it's just gonna be threading the snake through, or threading the needle with the fender through the truck and the motor. If I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna set you guys up and we'll see how it goes. You can just watch and see what the heck I decide to do. So real quick here guys, I want to note something with you guys. So I suspect what happened with my motor was the EGTs were always very high because I had this factory exhaust, but it was tuned and deleted and stuff, but I still had the DPF filters, all the crap on my exhaust, which probably is not good for it. So I suspect my EGTs were always really high, and that's what kind of caused this engine failure along with the turbo, I think went, but that could have gone because the EGTs were high, or the turbo could have gone and then caused the high EGTs. I don't know. Either way, I just want to note something. This motor has 320,000 K. My motor has 280,000 K. And look at the color difference. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on video. Look at the color difference of this turbo versus mine. The color and the manifold color. You can tell my turbo and manifold was really hot. A lot. For long periods of time. And like just look at the blackness all around here, and just the color everywhere throughout here. Like the exit, like this thing was burning hot. So not seeing that blackness on this turbo or manifold or anywhere around here makes me believe that this thing never had a high EGTs ever, and it was like very lightly ran. So I have high hopes for this motor. I'm gonna start doing the switch over and everything right away, but I might make that a part 5 video, because this video is going to be long enough, me just getting it home and telling you guys about it. So yeah, I think that'll be a part 5 video. There's no point in making half-an-hour long videos every video. All right, YouTube. I switched over a couple of things yesterday. The fan shroud brackets. I got most of the pulleys off the front of this motor, and today I'm going to start taking all the EGR stuff off here and take my delete kit off this motor and put it on there, and then I'll take the alternator and the AC pump and the power steering bracket, a couple other things off here. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright, I've been failing at recording again. P.S. I need Ray-Ban Meta glasses here so I can just record everything that I'm doing. Okay, so I have changed over the wiring harness from that motor to this motor. That's the motor that came out of my truck. This is the new motor, because this wiring harness had a plug that was ripped off, and instead of just repairing it, I figured why not just replace the whole harness and then I can have this for that motor or whatever. I just don't want any issues, kind of thing. So I also changed over this coolant hose for the EGR delete, and I moved over the motor mounts and the AC pump and the alternator, the fan shroud brackets, this motor mount over here too. So a couple more things that I need to do. I need to replace the crankshaft sensor. I need to replace this hose because it got crushed. I need to take these old fuel line hoses off so mine will just go on nicely. I need to take this bracket off because it's stupid and useless. I think it is anyways. Maybe I'll leave it. I don't know. I took off that foam crap that's in here. It's like a noise insulator or something, or vibration insulator. I don't know, but it's also stupid and useless. And what else did I do? I did my whole delete, which you guys saw. And yeah, the wiring harness was a pretty big deal because you got to tuck it in all the nice little spots and make it like factory. So all the plugs that are taped off with green are the ones from the delete and won't be used anymore, just so I don't confuse myself when I put it back together. And yeah, so next now I need to take this broken power steering bracket that's right there off by taking off the bolts from the back here. This is what it's supposed to look like, but they broke it off. So I will take that off, and then I'll put the power steering pump on. And then after I change everything over from the motor, I also got to change over this big ground wire here. I got to change over the starter, put the starter on, which I could probably do the starter after, but we'll see. I might put the wires in because it's probably easier with it out of the truck. There's a couple other things that I wanted to do with it out too, but I can't remember exactly what it is right now. I'll have to go rewatch the videos that I've saved. And then when it comes to this, let me pause my thing here. So to put the motor back in, I'm going to lift the cab a little bit because it was super tight coming out, as you guys saw. And I grabbed on the power wire bracket up here, and it was just pushing, and I had to tug and pull to get it out. And that was with the valve cover off, the rocker arms off. And you can see that push rod there actually grabbed and bent maybe a little bit even, it looks like. But yeah, just everything was in the way, and I broke this because it was too high. So I don't want to obviously have any issues putting it back in. So I'm gonna lift the cab up, just jack it up, hopefully 6 inches in the front here and about 4 inches in the back here. I'll put like a 4x4 in there just so it's nice and high. And then another thing I'll need to do is undo the transmission brackets and move the transmission back a couple inches, just so I can come and drop the motor in and then put the transmission back onto the motor, rather than having to try and line it both up while I'm coming down with the motor as well. I did that once before when I was younger, and it was a pain in the ass, and I don't want to do that again. And I do not want to risk damaging this brand new transmission that I have in there. So yeah, guys, that's the plan. That is the plan. I'm going to start tearing everything apart more, and or tearing everything apart on the motor, get everything that I want switched over, and then once I'm ready, I'm going to start doing the work on the truck, taking the drive shaft off, moving the transmission back, jacking up the cab, and then yeah, there's a lot of work to do. There is a lot of work to do. And then one more thing that I also need to do on this new motor is, I mentioned to you guys, there's a front impact collision. I don't know if I showed you this bolt yet, I can't remember what I recorded, but the timing cover needs to be replaced because it got dented in from the harmonic balancer, and there's a crack right above this broken bolt, and that bolt is broken, and I'm hoping that it didn't damage this whole timing casing, that I'll have to replace that and take off all the timing gears, because I really don't want to have to do that. So I'm probably going to try and just take this out once I can, and I'll probably tap and die it, but I'm not going to take this off until I have a new gasket ready, because I don't want to leave it just exposed. So I mean, I guess I could take it off and just put it back on so it's not super exposed, but that might be a good idea, because then I can actually see what I'm working with, see if I need a tap and die kit, see if I need to take this timing case off this one. Oh, I also need to take this harmonic balancer off. Totally forgot about that. So still quite a few little things that I need to do here, guys, and I'm just gonna keep plucking away here. Oh, well guys, I just recorded a whole about 10 to 15 minute clip without anything recording. So that kind of sucks. The one time that I actually picked the camera up to go to record, and I completely fail. But anyways, I'm just gonna catch you guys up on everything that I've done here so far. The motor is pretty much ready to go in. I think everything from the other motor that I need is swapped onto this one, minus the front pulleys that I haven't put on yet, which are all just sitting, and I'll do them once the motor's in the truck. Another thing that I've just done, and I know I should have recorded this, but I'm so bad at recording everything. It's just so much easier to just work and then show you guys after, is I've jacked the cab up to get the motor in much easier. So I just undid the 1, 2, 3 cab bolts on each side. There's one more in the far back that I didn't touch, and then I just jacked it up enough so I could get 3 2x4s in there. And all I had to do for this wiring harness was unclip the little plastic clip that goes into the frame, and then I also had to take off the steering linkage here and undo this one power steering line, this one here, because that's the only thing that really connects the frame and the cab. So everything else was out of the way, so I decided to start jacking, and it went up nicely. So I have 3 2x4s on this side and 3 2x4s on this side. I have about 8 inches up here, and this should be hopefully plenty of room to be able to get that motor in nicely. The next thing that I need to do is slide this transmission either back or just jack it up enough so that it'll somewhat line up the motor as it's coming down. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet. So I think to slide the transmission back, I might have to take this whole front drive shaft off, and I'll have to worry about the transfer case tipping over the transmission, and it's just a lot of stuff that I don't want to worry about. So we'll see what I do about that. I'm not 100% sure just yet. I also took off the whole exhaust system today because it was all just plugged with oil. The SCR filter is plugged with oil too. There was so much oil in there, and the DPF filter, and funnily enough they're both hollow, so I don't know how they're supposed to look from factory, but I'm pretty sure they're not hollow. So but either way, I don't think I'm gonna put them back on. I'm just gonna do a pipe and then hope that I don't get seen. Anyways, I'm probably gonna end this video here, guys, because the next video is going to be the installing of the motor, and I'll do that transmission stuff at that video too. And then there might be one final video of actually getting it started and going for a test drive, but I'm not sure. That might be just in the next 4th video too, depending on how much footage I actually get and how much I actually pick the camera up. Again, someone wants to buy me some Ray-Ban glasses, I will wear them 24/7 and just record everything that I do. That'd be amazing. I can't afford them, so maybe I should put like a P.O. box or something like that so people can send me goodies, like all the big famous people with lots of money getting gifts from people. Anyways, if you guys have watched this far already, please like, comment, share if you can, and just give the video interaction If you have stayed this far, I love you. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the view. And yeah, guys, stay tuned to the next video where I'm gonna be actually finally installing this 6.7 with no knowledge or experience besides pretty much YouTube videos and some backyard mechanicking in my life. So yeah, guys, stay ready for this. And not to mention doing it all by myself without any help. That's the crazy part to me. All right, guys, well, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Have a good one. Peace.